CES 2022 is going to require proof of vaccination against COVID-19. The tech gathering is going to be back in Vegas after the all-digital event in 2021. All digital, I mean, you can't do this event all digital. It's really not the point of it. No.
I don't think any of us watched it.
I don't even, it was just completely lost at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to remember, I hadn't also been there in a really long time prior to that. And let me tell you something about CES. I'll give you a little background from a guy who probably went consecutively for like a decade. Everybody gets sick at CES. Not COVID, because I haven't been recently enough existence of COVID, but everyone gets sick. It's super common. Maybe there's a couple of times I didn't. And it's this really tight core. It's a huge space. You're talking million square feet, but it's a lot of people coming from all over the world to some indoor location in Las Vegas, shaking hands. And now I know they would do some other version of it. Likely it would be a little bit more spaced out, and they would do a COVID version of it. But Vegas needs this type of thing, man. Vegas needs to be able to look at all these people in one hotel.
Yeah, like a lifetime ago.
For example, Vegas needs these type of shows, not just CES, but gatherings, conventions. That's what they do.
Yeah.
That's how that place works. So they got to find a way to make it happen. And you have, what do you have? You have the mayor, I believe, was being very aggressive at first to try to get Vegas opened back up. And they're willing to do whatever is possible in order to get these approvals and things. And so I presume this is part of it, that in order to get the show up and running, that they've determined that this is going to be required. But, people get very sensitive about this subject and think, hey, I don't want to be told, as far as anything medical is concerned, I don't want to have any organization or government. You heard some musicians came out and said, I'm not going to play a show if it requires that type of proof of vaccination.
Sure, yeah.
And this
is very controversial.
Talk about the airlines. If
it is, like, the thing about CES is that it's international.
Very
people from all over the
super
world
international
come here just for like a couple days and then go back to wherever they're from.
Yes.
And
it's a big mashup.
Yeah. It's risky to some people.
Well, that's why I opened the conversation with saying people get sick all the time, regardless of COVID. Yeah. As far as just colds and flus and
giving presentations all day after taking the red eye.
You're also indoors the whole time. It's so damn hot.
Yeah. Wearing your suit. Imagine some people.
They got ventilation and stuff going on, but you're indoors the whole time. You're also in tight quarters because you're always sharing buses and cabs to get places. So you're always really close to people as well. It's just what it is, man. It's a lot of people mixing around. Anyway, what's the quote here? This is from Gary Shapiro. He's the president of this thing. We all play a part in ending the pandemic through encouraging vaccinations and implementing the right safety protocols. In a release, we are taking on our responsibility by requiring proof of vaccination to attend CES 2022 in Las Vegas. I don't know if this will affect their numbers or anything like that, but I think it's also a little bit uncomfortable because it's who are you, right? You run the convention, and I'm showing you documentation, medical documents. It's not common. We're not used to it. It's a bit. From a privacy perspective, it's a new world that we're living in where there's these scenarios that exist that we didn't have to be comfortable with in the past. So I think it's understandable that people are nervous about such things because they do represent something new. But at the same time, we're existing in an environment now which is different than one that we've been in before. So it's going to be hard to satisfy everybody on this subject. Impossible, actually.
For sure.